Good morning, students. Today, under the human reproduction, we are going to study about fertilization and post-fertilization events. Fertilization, as we all know, is a fusion of male and female gametes. The fertilization happens inside the female in fallopian tube at the ampullary isthmic junction. For a fertilization to be successful, ovum as well as sperm, they has to be transported at the same time in the ampullary isthmic region. Once the sperm and ovum they meet, the sperm attaches to the zona pellucida layer of a ovum. As soon as the one sperm enters to the zona pellucida, it blocks the entry of the additional sperm. For the attachment and the breaking of the wall, secretion from the acrosome helps the sperm to get entry inside the ovum. At the time of fertilization, the second meiotic division, which was still pending in the secondary oocyte, it happens and second polar body is released. The result of fertilization is zygote, which is deployed in nature. So here we can see that many sperms they are approaching the ovum. The outermost layer which is present outside the ovum is corona radiata. This is in the radiating manner. Inner to corona radiata is a zona pellucida. Sperms get entry inside the ovum with the help of acrosome. Acrosome releases certain enzymes which helps in the breaking of the walls. Once the sperm they get inside the ovum, then two nuclei fuse and it results in the formation of zygote. Now coming to implantation. In implantation, zygote undergoes mitotic division, which we all know that is a equational division. After the repeated mitotic division, zygote changes into the blastocyst. This blastocyst gets attached to the wall of uterine and specifically to the endometrium, and this process of attachment is called as implantation. Yes. Now understand implantation. Zygote undergoes a mitotic division and it will make a two-cell stage. Next, mitotic division results in a four-cell stage. These four-cell stage will further go into the division and they will make a 8-cell morula. These 8-cell morula they will further change into the 16-cell morula, and these 16-cell morula on mitosis will further change into the blastocyst. The blastocyst is differentiated into the outer layer, that is the trophoblast, and inner cell mass. This trophoblast will help in the implantation into the endometrium, while inner cell mass will make an embryo. So this was the complete process of the implantation where only mitotic division is involved. This is the diagram showing the implantation in a uterus. Here you can see that oocyte is released from the ovary. Then after the fertilization, the fertilized egg is changed into the zygote, which is changing into the 2-cell stage, then into the 4-cell stage, then into the 8-cell stage, and then into the 16-cell stage, and ultimately this is the blastocyst which is undergoing implantation into the endometrium. Now coming to pregnancy and embryonic development. First of all, coming to the trophoblast. Trophoblast makes the finger-like projections, which is called as chorionic villi. These become interdigitated with the uterine tissue and make placenta. Placenta is connected to fetus with the help of umbilical cord. The main role of placenta is to provide nutrition and oxygen to the fetus and removal of carbon dioxide along with the waste. Placenta also acts as an endocrine gland and it releases a certain hormone, that is the HCG, which is human chorionic gonadotropin, and HPL, that is human placental lactogen. These two hormones, these are released during the pregnancy only. Apart from this, placenta also releases the hormone estrogens and progesterone, and we have studied that these two hormones are also released by the ovary. Inner cell mass of the blastocyst, it differentiates into the ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, which makes the organs of a body. So here we can see the placenta, and we can see clearly the interdigitation of chorionic villi with the uterine wall. And this is the umbilical cord. This is the connecting link between the fetus and the placenta. And here you can see the cavity of uterus along with the embryo. Now coming to pregnancy and embryonic development. After the end of the first month, heart of the fetus is formed, while at the end of the second month, limbs and digits are formed. As the first trimester ends, major organ systems they have been formed. And with the end of fifth month, there is appearance of hair and the first movement can also be felt. At the end of the second trimester, fine hairs, eyelids, and the eyelashes are formed of a fetus. And with the end of the ninth month, fetus is ready for coming outside. Parturition. It is a vigorous contraction at the end of pregnancy which releases so much pressure that causes delivery of a fetus. The signal for this parturition originates from the developed fetus as well as from the placenta. These two things they induce mild uterine contraction which is called as the fetal ejection reflex. This fetal ejection reflex it triggers the release of oxytocin from the pituitary. So, stimulatory reflex between the uterine contraction as well as the oxytocin from the pituitary, it causes further stronger contraction and helps in the expulsion of baby. Next topic is lactation. Mammary gland undergoes differentiation during the pregnancy and they start producing milk. And we know that it is generated in the alveoli. This process of making milk is called as lactation. The milk which is released after the parturition in initial few days, this is called as colostrum. This colostrum has several antibodies and these antibodies enters inside the baby and they give the immunity against many diseases. So this was about the fertilization and all the post-fertilization events happening in the human body. So there are few questions related to this content, that is define parturition, expand term HCG and HPL, and enlist various stages in implantation starting from zygote. And I hope that after going through the content, you all will be able to attempt these questions very easily. So wish you all the best and thank you.